slaughter for his children, with the iniquity of their fathers.
Wrangham reports a growing number of people are being forced out of their homes because they cannot make rent payments.
Like tens of thousands of Americans right now, Rhonda Anderson and her family are being evicted.
So it's stressful and it's hard. I can go outside.
Let's back up. Last December, Anderson's family was excited when they moved to North Charleston, South Carolina. She and her husband had both found good jobs and this nice rental home close to work. But then, 3 months after they moved, the pandemic hit. Anderson's husband lost his home restoration job when the virus and the shutdown dried up all his company's projects.
My husband filed for unemployment, still didn't get no unemployment. So basically it left me in a situation to do stuff by myself. Try to keep food in the house and try to pay the rent.
Rhonda took on extra hours at her job. She's the head cook at a local nursing home. These days, she's working up to 75 hours a week, but it still hasn't been enough to make rent on time.
I've never been in this situation before anyway. I'm asking, like, how is you going to evict us and we still paying our payment? He said, I just want y'all out of there. And we didn't know why.
The other baseball pitchers, yeah.
The landlord said Anderson paid her rent late several times, and she was violating her lease because her 20-year-old son wasn't on the initial paperwork. He was violating her lease because her 20-year-old son wasn't on the initial paperwork. He had come to live with her when his college closed because of the pandemic. The CARES Act, the coronavirus relief package Congress passed earlier this year, halted evictions for anyone living in properties with federally backed mortgages, but that only applies to about a third of renters nationwide, and it's set to expire July 25th. In addition to the federal protections, most states put a pause on all evictions when the pandemic first hit, but those rules only postpone evictions. If tenants violate their rental agreements, landlords can still evict them once the moratoriums expire. Princeton University's LeVar Edmonds studies evictions. He says they were already a major problem before the pandemic.
The last 15, 20 years, you can see rents have been increasing considerably, whereas incomes have remained relatively stagnant.
A spike in homelessness right in the middle of this outbreak. People of color are also most vulnerable when it comes to housing. Blacks and Hispanics in the U.S. are twice as likely to be renters as whites. And during the pandemic, Black and Hispanic workers are more likely to have lost their jobs as well. And as evictions pick up across the country, that's how life could soon be.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Recha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. I want to go in this video inspired by one of the younger brothers, GMS. This was a channel he had for a while, GMS Lions 15. It's called Evictions Judgment. You know, it's a good video. Subscribe and check it out. But you know, you brothers that's already in the know, we already know what's going down. Okay, we know you know, you can go on to YouTube and pull out clips. We know what's going down. This is all prophecy. Okay, and the proud. Well, let's get that real quick. Isaiah 13:11, and this whole Isaiah 13 is good for this what's going down. Anyway, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. Okay, that's going to our people too, for your iniquity. That's why the scriptures tell you, so-called black woman, you Israelite woman, let me say that, rise up ye women that are at ease. Okay, even the ones that look like other nations. Okay, you're not going to get a pass either. You've been able to use that skin tone you might have for a long period of time, but there's going to come a time where the squeeze is going to come on basically everybody, okay, and mainly you Israelites, okay. And it says, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, okay. So, you know, a lot of Jake, especially let me say our women, let me say that, Our women, you know, you have these jobs, you have your careers. A lot of you, you know, you live month to month or week to week, thinking that everything is going to go on the way you see fit. You know, you have no kind of savings or money for so-called bad weeks or months, and mainly you don't have the Spirit of the Heavenly Father with you, okay? And that's going to be your downfall, okay? So a couple things in this video. you know, this is what you call the squeeze that they are putting on you and pushing these draconian laws. You know, they pull out this BS CARES Act, you know. I don't know what's up with that. That's supposed to be for caring to help you, but then unemployment runs out if you're able to get it, and then, you know, after the CARE Act is closed, then I guess they don't care at that point. So they're putting a squeeze on you, and they're going to do that, okay, so you can want things to go back to normal, okay? And then when they introduce that microchip, and that's what it boils down to. This is what they want. I know you hear us say it all the time. I know you hear us, oh, there they go talking about that microchip again. That's what it's going to boil down to, right? If you don't accept what we say or do, you will not be eating. You will not be living in your home, okay? You will not be going to work, okay? And if you don't go to work and you can't make money, you can't do a damn thing, okay? That's where the men of the Lord have to have faith, in the families that's following this truth. You have to have faith. As Yahweh calmed the waters, you know the story. You know, the panic. Trust in the Lord. Proverbs the 3rd chapter. Lean not to your own understanding. You know. And this landlord, this is going to show you when the scripture says the love of many shall wax cold, right? The landlord just said, you know the landlord was cool when they invited him in, showed him the house and said, it's a good place. This shows you that there is no love in the land. Yeah, everybody talking about love one another, peace. You know, this man hides wickedness under the name of peace. Okay, so while you're pushing for peace and prosperity, wickedness is being revealed right under your nose. This landlord said, I want them out, you know. Almost like they got many people lined up to move in. You know, this landlord was better off leaving them in there and get what he can get out of them than kicking them out. But somehow in this landlord's mind, he thinks, which he has a mortgage to pay, but now he's going to have to pay it on his own. Because who he going to get to move in there in these times? In the so-called pandemic. It's hard enough to get people to pay rent, let alone get a security deposit. Anyway, also notice how they put the squeeze on the husband. The husband couldn't get unemployment. He was a home restorator or something. He had so much, he's so beaten down, he didn't even want to be in the interview. You know, which I can't blame him. But the wife is up there in the interview, crying and pleading. This goes to show you, just like the scriptures say, when it all comes down, you know, your partner may just leave you. You think you got a good woman? Yeah, we'll see in that day. You know, the husband couldn't get an unemployment, and I don't know why that is, but that's them showing you they have hatred for you, Jake. You men, this kind of lifestyle that these 1948ers, as Joshua Wamba called it, these 1948ers see, they don't want that lifestyle. You know? They don't want that lifestyle, man. They don't want to see the so-called black man and the so-called black woman and the so-called son or daughter in the makeup of a so-called household setting. This is what they're totally against. You know? That's crazy. They're going to put that squeeze on you, Jake, to get that vaccine and that chip. You know? Let's go to another scripture real quick. Let's go to Matthew 19. It says, and everyone that have forsaken houses. Okay? Forsaking your house, or brethren, or sister, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive a hundredfold, and shall inherit an everlasting life. So how is this possible? You know? To say who forsaken houses, then brethren and sister, like, you got to throw off your brother and sister. Look, when that chip come out, and they start saying, hey, you want to keep your house? You know, your brother telling you, hey, you keep the house. The sister telling you, you can keep it, just take that chip. The father and mother, they all coercing you. See, this is going to the Israelites. This is going to the elect. Everybody around you, when that squeeze crunch come, are going to want you to be normal, like them, so-called, when you're not normal. And you have to forsake everyone around you for this truth. You may have to be a bum, so to speak. I know they call GMS bums, so we're not going to have no problem with that part, I guess. You know, you might have to be so-called misfortunate, unfortunate, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, in order to be delivered. And some of us won't be, you know. Everybody's trial may be a little bit different, but you're going to have to forsake something when it comes to this truth. When that chip come out, you damn sure going to have to forsake something. That chip ain't going to come out and all of a sudden there's going to be certain brothers living super comfortably, you know. If that's the case, you might have to consider if you sold out or set to sell out. Now the Lord can do what he want to do, okay. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12:4. This is one we always read. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. So the Most High is not one that he should lie. Read Isaiah 55. Everything that goes forth out of his mouth shall happen and not return void, like a voided check. And he shall rise up against the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. You know? So everybody's going to, you know, think that everything's going to continue, and they're going to try to file for unemployment. They're going to file for disability. They're going to file for all kinds of workman's comps or whatever is going to go on. Okay? There's not going to be, you know, no more recording artists out trying to sell records, because people ain't going to be able to buy records on a high scale level. Who going to want to in the middle of turmoil? You got all the turmoil going on and people going to go in the store, let me download this record, let me listen to this song, that song. You're going to be struggling to keep your gas electric going so you can play it. You know? That's crazy. So we see these evictions coming, you know. They saying if you don't follow the guideline, you can't work, you can't live, and you can't live in your house. You can't do what's normal, okay? And that's what we see what's coming. Anyway, I just want to touch on that. Evictions is here. You're going to have a lot more of these evictions happening, and whatever the news is covering, some aren't. But I'd imagine, you know, not just evictions, gas, electric turnoffs. People are living way above their means. I see people lined up in food pantries now, you know. Nobody ever knew how to prepare for anything, you know. You know, I mean, you should always have some money that you just save, you know what I'm saying? And I'd say that in general. Don't go gung-ho spending, buying 20-inch wheels, you know, big home theater TVs, when you might have a bad month and can't pay your damn rent. But that's what a lot of the so-called, you know, our women do, you know. They're living it up. Nail salons, you know, big high expensive car payments. They can pay it, but they really have no money if they lose their damn job. That's why the Lord gonna cause the proud to cease, you know. And Edom, he gotta know what's coming for him, man. That's all I have on that. Shalom.